From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Heart-stopping video from atop the rims.
I was actually thinking that I was going to die.
A Billings family now breathing a sigh of relief.
I was super hot and thirsty.
A young boy's dangerous attempt to be a hero leaves him needing some heroes of his own.
I was just a big giant train wreck.
Good morning and welcome to Montana This Morning on this Monday, September 25th. I'm Diane Parker in for Augusta McDonald. 11-year-old Van Sloan is home safe this morning with a message for the Billings firefighters who saved him.
Thank you so much, and I don't know how I could ever repay you.
Van got stuck 40 feet off the ground by Mountain View Boulevard trying to save his cat, Bruce. Billings firefighters responded quickly after getting the call about 4:30 yesterday afternoon. This is video of one rappelling down from the top, hooking in the boy and lowering him safely to the ground. Now, Van says while he was able to get his cat down, it ran back up the rims. The boy tells us he will not be climbing after Bruce again and knows he will come home eventually. That is just an incredible rescue there. Thanks to our Billings firefighters.
Yeah, great job, guys. Good ending to the story. Bruce, what's up?
I know, Bruce causing all these troubles. I love that he loves his pet,
That's
Bruce,
cool,
though,
yeah.
his cat.
Right.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Well, time for a check of the weather this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. A gorgeous start out there. We're coming off, for some of us, a soggy weekend. Let's talk totals. Now, here in Billings, we didn't get as much as we thought. We didn't even get half an inch off that area of low pressure coming in Thursday through Saturday. Officially at the airport, 0.44 inches of rainfall. And we did get warmer. Now, yesterday our high was above average. We got up to about 75. We're going to get warmer for the next couple of days, and then we got another cool down on the way. Just really a dry stretch coming in for most of this week. So our monthly total, we're still in the hole, but for the year, we're still looking pretty darn good out there. And it feels pretty darn good out there right now. 51 at the airport, probably going to dip down into the 40s this morning before we warm up today. Humidity at 71%, winds out of the southwest at about 9 miles an hour. Temperatures across the area, 40s and 50s right now. Highs today and tomorrow, 70s and 80s for some here like in Billings. Tomorrow will be our warmest day of the week, but a double shot of disturbances coming in. Going to give us a chance to cool down, and when's our next best chance of seeing some rainfall? We'll let you know coming up. Diane.
All right, thanks, Miller. Well, there's an effort underway to make the Billings Skate Park safer. Our Haley Monaco has been following this story. She's joining us now with more on this morning. And good morning, Haley.
Good morning, Diane. I had a chance to speak with Ryan Wright. He's an everyday Billings citizen with a passion for helping the community. He and other skaters have noticed some serious crime and other unsavory behavior at the downtown skate park, so he's doing something about it. Take a look.
Dedication, determination, drive.
Amanda Kelly loves watching her 16-year-old son skateboard.
Just the amount of talent that's down here.
But Kelly also goes to make sure her son stays safe, and sometimes he has to return the favor.
My 16-year-old son is having to protect me down at the skate park, so it's really no other sport do you play that you have to look up in the stands and worry about your mom being safe. But here, he does.
It's a common feeling among many who attend the skate park downtown. It's often a dangerous place.
A lot of hard drugs, lots of fights.
I was here for less than 15 minutes and I saw a guy get stabbed.
And my board landed on its side, so it was really loud. But at the same time my board hit the ground, somebody shot the window of the House of Fades, the barbershop.
It's stories like this that caused Billings resident Ryan Wright to want to revamp the skate park.
There's something that needs to be done here because the kids just aren't safe. We're actually getting ready to try to fence the whole thing in, get cameras out here and get lights.
2 months ago, Wright received approval from Billings Parks and Recreation to start the work.
We've tried everything we can think of to bring skate park around, to make it a safe place, to make it an inviting atmosphere. We're at our wits' end. Our police officer comes through a number of times a day. Our staff does all we can. It just is not a very hospitable place, and so when they came with their ideas, we were all in, Yeah, it didn't take much convincing.
Director of Billings Parks and Rec, Mike Pigg, is thrilled about the project.
I'm all about it. Anything that we can do to take back and put a space back into the use that it was intended for is that's what we're there for.
Wright is fundraising for the new additions to the skate park and is working with the nonprofit Partners for Parks to take donations.
We're trying to get it done as quick as possible, especially while we got traction.
Taking back the Billings skate park with hopes to make it safer for people just like Kelly, her son, and his friends.
I'm super excited. I've sat down here, I've seen a lot, and I am really hoping that it's going to drive out some of the issues that we're having.
People talk about it a lot, but nothing ever gets done, and it finally kind of seems like something actually is happening now, which is super cool.
Now, Diane, while the city of Billings is on board with Wright's fundraising, we just want to make it clear there is no way taxpayer-funded change is happening, and it will not be a part of the upcoming Parks Improvement Bond.
Okay, good clarification there. It's nice to see that he's taken the charge there on making it safer downtown. So thanks a lot, Haley.
Thanks, Diane.
Well, speaking of the Parks Improvement Bond, we also wanted to mention the city is holding a town hall event this Wednesday on the topic. City leaders will deliver a presentation, then open the floor to questions about the bond, which will, of course, appear on the November ballot. Again, it is this coming Wednesday, the 27th, from 6 to 8 p.m. in the community room of the Billings Library. Well, in the Heights, a dangerous walk to school is now much safer. New sidewalks to and from Medicine Crow Middle School have parents relieved. There's been concerns about kids walking there since it opened in 2016. For years, there was no sidewalk in front of an apartment complex on Barrett Road. It meant kids were riding their bikes and walking on the street for a half a mile in between Bench Boulevard and Hawthorne Lane. Now the sidewalk stretches all the way to Hawthorne thanks to a generous donation from the owner of Barrett Road Patio Home Apartments.
There was nobody calling him saying, hey, are you going to do those sidewalks? Nothing. And he did it because he said he would. To have a member of our community step up and ensure that the most heavily trafficked portion of that road has sidewalks and safe access for children is huge.
The owner of Barrett Road Patio Home Apartments actually agreed to add the sidewalk 5 years ago, but confusion over zoning delayed the project until this year. Rocky Mountain College here in Billings is seeing a decline in students. Their enrollment is down 6% compared to last year. And turns out this follows a nationwide trend. Now take a look. Nationwide undergraduate college enrollment dropped 8% from 2019 to 2022, with declines even after returning to in-person classes. Now, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, that's the steepest slide on record. Here in Montana, one school, though, bucking the trend. MSU in Bozeman set an all-time record this fall. That's almost 17,000 students. That is up 2% from last year. MSU's enrollment is now close to double its rival at the University of Montana. UM's number for 2023, they aren't out yet, but the school reported fewer than 10,000 students last fall. At Rocky, leaders say they'll focus on improvements to get the numbers in the right direction.
When this happens, I think the most important thing is that you have to look in the mirror and examine what you're doing. And we're very well positioned after having 4 years of growth, to look at our processes and keep in mind that this is about continuous improvement.
Cost is also a major factor. Tuition at Rocky currently sits at $32,280 per year. And new this morning, time is running out to avert a shutdown of the federal government. The deadline is 10 p.m. Friday night, and the White House is warning federal agencies to prepare to close. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy worked through the weekend and is optimistic about a breakthrough, though a handful of hardline conservatives say they're not interested in backing a stopgap measure. Well, this morning, our Joe St. George takes a look at how shutdowns aren't that uncommon in political history, but how this one just might be the costliest.
Well, much of Washington is starting the countdown clock to a possible government shutdown at the end of this week. And while we've had government shutdowns in the past, this one just might be the costliest.
Let's start with some government shutdown facts. There have been 20 government shutdowns since 1976, when the current budget-making process was enacted. That's an average shutdown every 2 to 3 years. The longest ever lasted from December 22nd, 2018 to January 25th of 2019. Former President Trump wanted more funding for a border wall. That shutdown lasted 34 days. Over the years, the average shutdown lasts about 8 days. One of the biggest, most immediate impacts from any shutdown is always those who are forced to work without pay, like members of the military or those who work for a federal agency. This week, hundreds of thousands of federal workers are expected to learn if they are essential or not. During the 2018-2019 shutdown, 380,000 federal workers were furloughed and deemed not essential. 420,000 worked without pay, like TSA agents at airports. The cost of the last shutdown to the economy is estimated to be $3 billion. But there is a chance that a shutdown this time could be the costliest ever. Yes, political divisions could make a hypothetical shutdown the longest and therefore the costliest. This year, though, there is a new risk: the country's credit rating. Earlier this year, the credit agency Fitch downgraded the U.S. from a AAA credit rating to a AA+, citing, quote, a steady deterioration in standards of governance. S&P has already downgraded the U.S. A lengthy shutdown this time could prompt another agency like Moody's to downgrade the U.S. too. Credit downgrades can impact interest rates and force some investors around the world who are required to put their money in places with AAA ratings to go elsewhere, hurting the U.S. economy. As a reminder, Social Security checks still go out during shutdowns, and Medicare and Medicaid are still available. Back pay to any federal employee or member of the military is also required under federal law once the government opens back up. However, the White House says 10,000 children would lose access to Head Start preschool spots during a shutdown. Food safety inspections by the FDA and passport applications by the State Department could face some delays. Joe St. George, Scripps News, Washington.
A firework caused quite the stir near 5th Street West and Miles Avenue over the weekend. Billings police responded Saturday to reports of a loud boom. While many were fearing gunshots, police actually found a previously totaled vehicle with its back windshield blown out. Now, they say it was caused by a large firework. This morning, we're hearing from the Aldriches who live in the area. The couple is blind and rely heavily on their hearing. They fear next time they hear a sound like Saturday's, it could be something worse.
Well, with all the events that are happening, I always get worried that we might have an incident in the park. I used to be able to get out and walk, and then, the police came and said, please don't do it. We just never know what noise is going to happen next.
And still ahead on this Monday morning, we're jamming out with Crow Country Band for our latest Magic City mixtape. Their first song is coming up right after the break. It is 6:12 and 47 degrees out there. You are watching Billings' only local morning newscast.